welcome to another episode of Savadestan Ask. I'm your host Zeynab, and today we have a very special guest, Fateme Soleimanian. Fateme is an expert in the field of educational technology. Welcome to the podcast, Fateme.
Thank you, Zeynab. It's great to be here.
So, Fateme, let's start with the basics. Can you tell us what educational technology is?
Sure. Educational technology, or EdTech, refers to the use of technology to enhance teaching and learning. This can include anything from online courses and digital textbooks to educational apps and learning management systems.
That sounds really interesting. What are some of the benefits of using EdTech in classroom?
Well, there are a lot of benefits to using EdTech in the classroom. One of the main ones is that it can make learning more engaging and interactive. By using technology, teachers can create more immersive learning experiences that can help students stay focused and engaged.
Definitely important, especially with the rise of remote learning due to the pandemic. Can you talk a bit about how EdTech has been used in remote learning?
Absolutely. The pandemic has really highlighted the importance of EdTech in remote learning. With so many students learning from home, teachers have had to find new ways to engage them and keep them on track. EdTech has been a big help in this regard, with teachers using tools like video conferencing, digital textbooks, and educational apps to keep students engaged and learning.
Really interesting. What are some of the challenges that come with using EdTech in the classroom?
Well, definitely there are some challenges that come with using EdTech in the classroom. One of the main ones is that it can be expensive. Not all the schools have the budget to invest in the latest technology, which can put some students at a disadvantage. Another challenge is that it can be difficult to integrate technology into the classroom in a way that is effective and engaging. And also, teachers need to be properly trained and have access to support resources in order to use EdTech effectively.
Good point. What are some of the best practices for integrating EdTech into the classroom?
I think one of the most important things is to start small. Teachers shouldn't try to incorporate every new tool or technology at once. Instead, they should start with one or two tools that are easy to use and that they feel comfortable with. And also, they should always keep the needs of their students in mind and make sure that the technology they are using is enhancing the learning experience.
That's really helpful advice. How do you see EdTech evolving in the future?
I imagine we are going to see a lot more innovation in EdTech in the coming years. With the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning, we are going to see more personalized learning experiences that are tailored to individual students' needs. We are also going to see more immersive technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality being used in the classroom to create more engaging learning experiences.
Really exciting. Are there any potential downsides to these new technologies?
Yes, there are definitely some potential downsides to these new technologies. One concern is that they could further exacerbate digital divide between students who have access to technology and those who don't. Another concern is that they could make it easier for companies to collect data on students, which could be used for marketing purposes or even to make decisions about their future education and career path.
Those are definitely important concerns to keep in mind. So, how can we ensure that EdTech is used in an ethical and responsible way?
Right. One way is to make sure that companies and educators are transparent about how student data is being collected and used. Students and their families should have control over their data and be able to opt out of any data collection that they are not comfortable with. It's also important to make sure that the students are taught about digital literacy and digital citizenship so that they are aware of how their data is being used and how to protect their privacy online.
Great point. So, in your opinion, what is the most exciting development in EdTech right now?
Well, in my opinion, the most exciting development is the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to create personalized learning experiences. With these technologies, we can create learning experiences that are tailored to each individual student's needs and learning style. This has the potential to revolutionize education and make it much more effective and engaging for students.
That sounds amazing! So, what do you think the future of education looks like with these new technologies?
Well, I think the future of education is going to be much more personalized and flexible. As I said earlier, with the use of technology, we can create learning experiences that are tailored to each individual student's needs and interests. We can also create more immersive learning experiences like virtual and augmented reality that can help students really engage with the material. Overall, fortunately, I imagine we are going to see a shift towards more student-centered learning, where students have more control over their own learning experience.
Really exciting. So, what advice would you give to educators who are interested in incorporating more technology into their classrooms?
Well, simply, my advice would be to start small and focus on tools that are easy to use and that enhance the learning experience. They should also make sure that they are properly trained and have access to support resources. Finally, they should always keep the needs of their students in mind and make sure that the technology they are using is helping them learn and grow.
Thank you so much, Fatemeh, for sharing your expertise with us today. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks, Zeynab. It was a pleasure to be here.
Before wrapping up, let's take some questions from our listeners. Our first question comes from Robert in New York. Robert asks, how can EdTech be used to support students with special needs?
That's a great question, Robert. Well, educational technology has a lot of potential to support students with special needs. For example, there are a lot of great assistive technologies out there that can help students who have trouble with reading or writing. There are also a lot of tools that can help with communication, like speech-to-text and text-to-speech software. Overall, the key is to find technologies that are specifically designed for the needs of each individual student, and to work closely with the special education professionals to make sure that the technology is being used in the most effective way possible.
Our next question comes from Mary in California. Mary asks, how can EdTech be used to support students who are struggling with remote learning?
That's a good question, Mary. Well, remote learning can be challenging for a lot of students, especially those who struggle with staying engaged or motivated. Educational technology can be used to create more engaging and interactive learning experiences, like virtual field trips, online simulations, and interactive games. It can also be used to provide more personalized feedback and support to students, so that they can get the help they need when they need it. Overall, the key is to find technologies that are specifically designed to support remote learning and to work closely with students to make sure that they are getting the most out of their learning experience.
Thank you, Robert and Mary, for your great questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us on our websites or social media pages. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on Savadestan Ask. Join us next time as we explore another topic.